from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It is game 2 of the 3-game series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs. A spectacular day for baseball. The Pirates were 4-2 winners yesterday, collecting 10 hits in beating the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Hendricks. Greg Brown along with John Wehner and Robbie Ince-Mikowski, and a guy that's been right in the middle of it. And this is a guy, John, who has gotten off to fast starts in the past, including last year with the Pirates, his first season in a Bucco uniform. David Freese, 3 more hits yesterday. He's been incredible.
When he's locked in, it's fun to watch. And he is a proven big leaguer. He's a pro. At the bat yesterday, he had this long at bat, at least 12 pitches against Kyle Hendricks, drives the ball the other way. And that's what he does when he's swinging the bat well, hitting the ball the other way. That almost looked like a hit and run. Had the whole right side. He punched it through. Another double here, running around, diving head first. Not the prettiest slide, but it was effective. But David Freese has been absolutely locked in. He's drawing his walks. The average third in the National League, the on-base percentage. Yeah, it's been fun, and we really needed him, obviously, without Jung Ho in the lineup.
Check out the Barrel Automotive League leader stat board here. 3rd in the league in hitting, tops in OPS. He's off to a tremendous start. We can't say that, unfortunately, about Tyler Glasnow. He really struggled in his 2017 debut against the Cincinnati Reds. John, is it as simple as saying it's the command with Glasnow?
It's hard to pitch up here without fastball command, and that's the thing that Tyler struggled with in that start against the Reds. Only 1 2/3 innings. You can see not very confident out there. I think especially today at Wrigley, the wind's blowing out. He's going to have to make adjustments, throw the fastball, not only for strikes, but keep it down in the zone. Hopefully get the ball on the ground, hopefully work ahead of the counts, and now the curveball and the changeup come into play. But against this Cubs lineup, if you're behind the count, you're struggling with command, it could be a long day.
Middle of April, we're talking about a very big game for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but in particular for Tyler Glasnow. Their ace in the hole, Jake Arrieta, is on the hill this afternoon against Glasnow. We'll talk about how the Pirates have fared against their ace coming up next. Weekend It is Tyler Glasnow making his second start of the year against Jake Arrieta, who's 2-0 with an ERA just over 2 in his first couple of starts. This ace, who was the Cy Young Award winner a couple of years ago when he went 22-6 with a 1.77 ERA. He went 18-8 last year, an ERA over 3. And we're back talking about today's Cubs starter. John, he has still dominated the Pirates, no question about that over the years, but his last 3 starts last season, he looked to be a little more human.
Yeah, the Pirates have to feel a little bit better about themselves and their chances against Arrieta, who's absolutely dominated the Pirates the previous 8, not counting the last 3. 134 opponent average, 0.79 ERA. But look at the numbers the last 3. I mean, they've hit them, and Arrieta's made some mistakes. He wasn't on the edges. He left pitches up. He left pitches over the middle of the plate. You see 5 home runs in the last 3 games after none the previous 8. Look at this package here. You'll see fastball down the middle. David Freese hits it hard the other way. There's another fastball up out over the plate right where Polanco likes it, drives it out the other way. Josh Bell gets a mistake out over the plate. And even Jake Arrieta, as good as his stuff is, if he doesn't locate, he can be hit. That was actually a pretty good changeup down and away that Jaso did some damage with. Andrew McCutchen with a hanging breaking ball. Hits it hard. Cervelli up the middle with another breaking ball middle of the plate. So even Jake Arrieta, when he doesn't have his best stuff or he doesn't have his greatest command, he can be had, and the Pirates have gotten him good the last 3 games.
And taking advantage of those mistakes, that is critical for the Pirates against Arrieta today. And of course, today we are celebrating Jackie Robinson Day throughout Major League Baseball. When we come back here at Wrigley Field in Chicago for the middle game of this 3-game series, Robbie Smikowski is going to talk to some of the ball players about Jackie Robinson Day and what it means to them. That and more from Wrigley coming up in just a moment.
Roosevelt Robinson, better known as Jackie. It's a statue of Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, as we welcome you back to Wrigley Field here on Root Sports. I'm Robbie Smikowski. First pitch between the Pirates and Cubs coming your way in just a couple moments. Today is Jackie Robinson Day, known all throughout baseball. All coaches, players, and managers will wear jersey number 42. Jackie Robinson was not just a guy who broke Major League Baseball's color barrier. He was a 6-time All-Star, an MVP, and a Rookie of the Year in 1947, and he batted .311 in 10 big league seasons. But for the young guys, they're going to wear number 42, and for guys like Josh Bell, it's the first time for him doing it. And he talked earlier about what an honor it is to wear Jackie's number.
It's going to be an awesome experience. You think about Jackie Robinson, you think about all the sacrifices he made, and, you know, the opportunities that I have as a player, and, you know, just the greats in the past. You think about, like, Roberto Clemente and, you know, the legacy he left. You know, that doesn't happen without Jackie Robinson. So I'm definitely blessed and happy.
I mean, it's a special day. I've seen Jackie Robinson Day and all the tributes people pay to him from afar and on TV, but it'll be cool to take part in it. He's an ambassador for our game. You know, he opened baseball's door to have so many different cultures and backgrounds and people on our teams.
Someone who, you know, made a huge impact in this game, not just, you know, for African-American players, Latin American players, but for, you know, everybody else as well, just inclusion. We're a family in this clubhouse, and I think he kind of integrated that in the baseball community. You know, he brought everybody together.
He changed the game. He revolutionized it and opened the door for a lot of players. And, you know, it's just, you know, you look around and see all the different type of people that are able to play this game. It's amazing. It's great.
Courage. You know, he stood up for a lot, and you know, a lot of us couldn't imagine doing, you know, walking in the shoes for even a day. And, you know, he stood up for something, and, you know, all of us benefited from it because, you know, all of us in here, we wouldn't have been playing together if he didn't stand up for it.
A wonderful tribute to a man that made a difference in life, adversity, the challenges he went through. The connections that were made moving forward to open the game up for African Americans, and then as it's expanded globally now.
Everything he did for the game, and you know, guys that are in here, you know, playing the game. He played hard, and was a strong voice for a lot of different reasons. And you know, it's just a special day to honor him. Everybody's wearing the 42, and every year we throw it on, it's a special day.
And it certainly never gets old talking about Jackie Robinson, what he meant to the game of baseball. And by the way, in 1962, Jackie Robinson was elected to baseball's Hall of Fame. What an impact he had, and we're certainly proud, all of us, to be a part of it in Major League Baseball on April 15th every single season. Well, number 42 is going to take the field, all of them, in just a couple moments here from Wrigley. In the meantime, we go back to the North Shore studios where Paul Alexander is standing by. Paul?
Gregory Polanco is not in the starting lineup. I give hugs to Alan Hansen, who is, thanks to the injury to Polanco. Allegheny Health Network injury update. He was scratched about an hour and a half ago. It was announced he would be scratched because of right groin soreness. And that is too bad because it's big bat. You hate to not have your full complement of players against Jake Arrieta. And Polanco will not be in there, though he is like many players in baseball, has struggled against Arrieta. 5 for 30, 167 lifetime. So Alan Hansen will get the chance. Coming your way from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Great day for baseball as the Pirates and the Cubs and the rest of baseball celebrate Jackie Robinson Day. Jake Arrieta getting ready to head out there. He's 2-0 in 2 starts, and everybody will be wearing 42 today. That number was retired by Major League Baseball. This has been something that has become now a tradition in baseball, thanks to former Commissioner Bud Selig. Everybody wears 42, and on April the 15th every season, we remember Jackie Robinson. It happens to come on Easter weekend this year. And we hope you're enjoying time with family and friends and looking forward to some baseball here in this historic ballpark. And of course, the Roberto Clemente debate goes on about what to do with number 21. And we'll talk about that during the course of the ball game. Check out the RAV4 starting lineup for the Pirates, who beat the Cubs yesterday 4-2. Adam Frazier, Starling Marte, and Andrew McCutchen, 1, 2, 3 in the order. David Freese just been on fire since the start of the season. 440 for the year, 636 last 4 ball games. Josh Bell plays first base. Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate, and Josh Harrison will make his first start in left field in a couple years. Alan Hansen gets the start at second base, and Tyler Glasnow is on the hill.
Man on the hill for the Cubs, big Jake Arrieta. He's won his first 2 starts, just a 2.08 ERA, 1 home run of the 7 hits he's allowed in 13 innings. Opponents hitting just 152 against him, and as we talked about in the open, he can be had if he makes mistakes, leaves balls out over the plate. The fastball, the velocity's down a little bit, but still has the good curveball and the sliders, throwing more of those in his first couple of starts than we've seen from Jake Arrieta in the past.
The Honda defense behind Jake Arrieta. Javier Baez is the second baseman. Addison Russell is double play partner. Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo on the corners. Kyle Schwarber, Jason Hayward, Ben Zobrist in the outfield left to right. Here is Anthony Rizzo, and behind the plate is Wilson Contreras. Arrieta has struck out 16 in his first 13 innings over his first couple of starts. His last time out was in Milwaukee. Gave up 3 runs in 7 innings and struck out 10 Brewers in a 7-4 win. Eric Cole picked up win number 1 of the young campaign yesterday with his 6 strong innings of work, allowing 6 hits, a couple of runs. Pirates again win at 4-2 and snap that 4-game losing streak. Loves pitching here. Now the wind is gusting out, so this could be a big day for the hitters. Adam Frazier stepping in and playing shortstop as Jordy Mercer gets a day off. Take a look at that stiff breeze going straight out. First pitch strike, Alan Porter calling the balls and strikes.
Yeah, calling for 20+ mile-per-hour winds all afternoon.
Quick strikes on Frazier.
Yeah, this big curveball looks like a ball. The total path to Adam Frazier. And it was a ball. Never did cross the plate.
There's Alan Porter behind the dish. Joe West Crew chief at first, Hunter Wendelstedt at second, Andy Fletcher at third. There is Country Joe. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Frazier. Had a couple of at-bats last year against Arrieta. And a fastball and a strikeout.
Throws so much across his body. You see he kind of steps towards the right-handed batter's box. It's a little tougher to pick up. A fastball that you can see a good view of it that's up and out over the plate. Frazier just trying to protect, as he had one pitch called that was off the plate, but couldn't get a piece of it.
Now Starling Marte. 231 lifetime against Arrieta, and that gets by him quickly. Marte was 1 out of 4 yesterday. See the early season average of 268.
As a hitter, you just try to pick up the release point, gear up for that fastball, adjust to the off-speed stuff. But with Arrieta, especially for a right-handed batter, even though you're not watching where he steps, it has to feel like he's charging right at you the way he steps.
Starts it out with a couple of strikeouts, looking like the old Arrieta. Talk about how the Pirates beat him up in his last 3 starts last year.
He misses with location here. That's actually, we talked about a pitch that's up and out over the plate. Those are the ones you want to be able to take advantage of. But that good carry, that late life gets it by. But that's the pitch right there, especially with the wind blowing up or blowing out. If you can make decent contact with that pitch up, it'll go.
McCutchen 275 lifetime versus Arrieta. 1 for 4 yesterday. Smoked into the seats, left side.
That's a pitch right there. When Andrew McCutchen's locked in, he keeps that fair and hits it a long way. Just a little too quick, a little out in front. See there, that pitch is actually off the plate in. Hard to keep that one fair.
Fly ball. The outfield has a chance to get out of here. One of those days at Wrigley.
And it could be an adventure, any pop-up even, you know, that don't leave the park. With the high sky, no clouds.
Those numbers against Arrieta. Just reaching out and popping it toward the seats. And for Rizzo and Zobrist. Second baseman Baez also went out. Arrieta won the Cy Young Award 2 years ago. The 2015 season capped off Pirates year with a 5-hit shutout at PNC Park and struck out 11 in the wild card game October the 7th.
Yeah, that's a good job of wasting. That slider was in a pretty good spot. As a right-handed hitter, the slider is going to be tougher to pick up than the curveball. The ball is a little more flat. It has more of a tighter spin than the curveball, but Andrew just able to get a piece off the end of the bat. Changeup. That's a pretty good take there too. I mean, that had some late downward movement right at the as it enters the hitting zone. I mean, that looks like a strike all the way till the very end. That's a nice eye from Andrew McCutchen.
Try it again. Bouncer to third. That's Bryant. 1-2-3 go the Pirates against Jake Arrieta. Tyler Glasnow takes the hill. League Baseball, celebrating the legacy of late great Hall of Famer who broke baseball's color barrier. This day in 1947, we check out the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, and Anthony Rizzo. 1-2-3. Rizzo, 64 ribbies in 83 games against the Pirates with 19 homers. Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell, Jason Hayward. The middle third and the bottom third of the order, Wilson Contreras, Jake Arrieta, and Javier Baez. Joe Madden batting the pitcher 8 again this year as he did a couple years ago. And now it is Glasnow, and it is a very, very big start for him and the Pirates.
No doubt. And I think it, as always, I think with Tyler will be throwing strikes, getting ahead of hitters, working that fastball, and keeping it down in the zone, especially today on this windy day. Everything's easier when you're ahead in the count.
Ball one. Schwarber has struck out 16 times but has drawn 9 walks and sees a lot of pitches. In fact, second most in the league, behind only David Freese, number of pitches seen per plate appearance. Glasnow's first batter he faced against the Reds was Billy Hamilton, the speedster, walked him, and of course was concerned about the stolen base, and things from the get-go just fell apart on Glasnow. I'd love to see him find a way to retire Schwarber. He falls behind 2-0. Just a little squiver inside the third base bag. Almost embarrassed to take it. He'll take it, of course, but very weakly hit.
Yeah, and it looked off the bat like a bit of a break for Tyler Glasnow as he goes up there and he swings at the 2-0 pitch and hits a little weak nubber, and I thought it was going to be right at David Freese, but off the end of the bat and just slicing barely inside the bag. Would have been a big out for Tyler if it was at Freese.
So Chris Bryant, 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored yesterday. National League's most valuable player last season. Bryant drew a walk against Felipe Rivero in the 8th inning yesterday.
For Tyler Glasnow, I know, he's went over some video with pitching coach Ray Searage. They work on the side in between starts, try to work on the tweaks to get that consistent delivery, that consistent release point. One thing you don't want to do, though, at the big league level, or any level really, is to think when you're up there pitching, just to be able to attack the zone.
High drive, and that is way gone. Way gone. Off the scoreboard. 2-0 Cubs. Bryant's first of the year.
And again, when you're pitching behind in the count, in this case 2-0, Bryant knows the fastball is coming. He can gear up for it. The location, middle. And I'm sure Tyler Glasnow throughout his career in the minor leagues is that ball off the scoreboard right by the 92, which is another significant number, I think. 92 for a guy like Glasnow who can have the mid-upper 90s fastball. You throw a 92 down the middle to a guy like Bryant, the MVP. He's not going to miss a lot of those. But I think, with Tyler and throughout his minor league career, where hitters hit just 171 against him, he gets away with those pitches. Not all the time, but more often than not.
One ball, one strike. Anthony Rizzo. 1 for 3 yesterday, hit by a couple pitches.
Change up there, had him out in front. Now a little easier to work when you're heading the count 1-2. Pitch, good movement down. Tried it again, pretty good location. Change up at 91. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
He threw a change up at 89, change up at 91. The fastball to Bryant 92.
Now the first pitch to Rizzo was 95. That's the kind of separation John's talking about. That changeup coming again, 2-2 on Rizzo. Well, there you go. Strikeout.
And that's a pitch we've heard a lot about during spring training. A pitch that Tyler was working on quite a bit. And pretty good to see the command. He got one for a chase, but that pitch is in the strike zone. A pitch he really didn't need to use a whole lot in the minor leagues because he had so much success with the fastball, curveball. There's one at 98.
Zobrist, Ben Zobrist. .95 there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Zobrist. 1 for 5 with an RBI in yesterday's Pirates victory. Glasnow, first time ever at Wrigley Field, and weakly hit toward the shortstop, and a bobble and a drop by Frazier. Here on Adam Frazier.
Another good changeup from Tyler Glasnow. There you see the grip off the end of the bat. Should be a routine play. It comes up just a little bit. It hits Adam in the heel of his glove. Then he can't get the handle.
Frazier making his first major league start at shortstop today. Up and in on Russell. Toward right center field over McCutchen. And this is going to score one, and Russell is going to be held at third.
Addison Russell, boy, he can hit. It's a pitch down and away. Doesn't try to pull it. He tries to pull it. There's a good chance it's a ground ball to the left side, but stays inside it, hits it hard, just out of the reach of Andrew McCutchen. One thing you know, we've talked about with Tyler Glasnow, and obviously the slow start, the rough first start. A couple balls hit hard, a couple balls hit weakly. I want to make the plays behind him.
So important for a young pitcher looking to get some traction that you make defensive plays behind him. Pirates have not done that early on here. The infield in, Jason Hayward.
Another good changeup. I mean, that's a pitch that, who knows? I mean, for Tyler Glasnow, could be the key pitch. Looks like he has a pretty good feel for it early on. He's thrown a number of them, at least 5 or 6 already.
Drew a walk yesterday. I guess you could use some help.
Boy, look at that.
When you get a strike,
yeah,
have it called a strike, that would help. So a lot of things not in Glasnow's favor. All 3 of those pitches were in the strike zone, but it's 2-1, and it's slapped to the left, and it's 4-0. The infield in, Hayward just spanks it past the left side.
Hayward with a longer swing, and anything that's out over the plate, he's more likely to get to than anything that's on the inner half of the plate, especially with plus velocity. And able to just stick the bat out there, hit it through that left side, the infield in.
Wilson Contreras pinch hit yesterday and grounded out. Cub catcher.
I mean, this is just something that Tyler Glasnow is not used to. I mean, there have been some command issues, but he just doesn't get hit. He's never been hit. Cubs here with the cycle in the first inning. It wouldn't surprise me if he's never allowed a cycle in a start in the minor leagues.
Yeah, fair to assume that has never happened. On Wilson Contreras. 4 runs in, a double by Schwarber started it. The home run by Chris Bryant hit off the scoreboard and left. The 6th time that's happened since they put that board in a couple years ago. 4th time already by Bryant. He's hit the scoreboard. Bell. With the second out. After the home run by Bryant, Rizzo struck out. Zobrist hit the weak ground ball to Frazier. And Frazier charged with the air. Then Russell hit one past Andrew McCutcheon for an RBI triple, and Hayward at the infield end bounced one into left. And now Jake Arrieta, a fine hitting pitcher in his own right. Career 188 with 4 homers.
Silver Slugger.
Yeah, got the award yesterday with his teammate Anthony Rizzo before the game. One of his 4 career homers came against A.J. Burnett back in September of 2015. .97, 0-2.
Good location there, too, down.
Tyler Glasnow is making his 6th career start. And he gets his mound opponent looking. 4 across.
Brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing. Let's go Bucks!
Jackie Robinson Day here at Wrigley Field. Mila Kunis, the actress, before the game, married to Ashton Kutcher, goes out the ceremonial first pitch, and it is a strike. Happy about that. Great ovation from the friendly fans here in Chicago.
I think the mechanics were all that great. I thought, you know, a little out of whack, kind of all over the place.
Okay. Talk to you later about that. Here now is David Freese.
A little surprised that she was in the strike zone there.
Freese hitting .440. 3rd in the league. Tops in on-base percentage, .576 on base, .760 slugging. That's 5th in the league, and those numbers combined give him the top OPS figure. David Freese was trying to settle down Glass now. He got into the dugout. Keep the faith. Don't give up.
I mean, there were some encouraging signs. Obviously, he gave up the 4 runs and the big mistake to Bryant. Russell actually hit a pretty good pitch, but I thought the command, there wasn't a walk. Threw some good changeups. Flipped the curveball in there for a strikeout.
The Schwarber double was weakly hit. The man reached on the air. Zobrist. Hayward was a ground ball, and then the hard hit ball's the home run by Bryant, the triple by Russell. Porter calls out David Freese on strikes. Arrieta with his 3rd strikeout.
And watching him throw across his body, get that extension out there and paint the outside corner.
Since the beginning of the 2015 season, he is 42-14 as Bell dribbles 1 foul. Years old, Jake Arrieta came over from the Baltimore Orioles. You'd have to say one of the more lopsided trades, not in Cubs history, but maybe in baseball history. 1 ball and 1 strike. They got, in addition to Arrieta, the Cy Young Award winner 2 years ago, Pedro Strop. He's been an outstanding setup man for Scott Feldman and a catcher, Steve Clevenger. One and 2 on Bell. John Jaso got the start at first base yesterday. Bell ended up as a pinch hitter late in the ball game. He had a little success last year against Arrieta. 3 for 5 with a home run. There's Jaso. High fly ball toward left. Look at that wind. Schwarber battles it, makes the catch.
That wind may have kept it fair as well. I mean, it looked like it was headed maybe towards the seats and just kept carrying and pushing towards the left fielder. Let's see where that pitch was supposed to go. It was supposed to be inside. It ran to the outer part of the plate, outside corner, and just underneath it was Bell.
Here is Francisco Cervelli. A key 2-run double in the game yesterday in the 6th inning off reliever Justin Grimm. Gave the Pirates a 4-2 lead. They won it by that score.
And again, missing with location.
I said at the outset that Arrieta, when he won the Cy Young 2 years ago, went 22-6 with an earned run average of 177. Last year, still outstanding, 18-8, but his ERA 3.10. Chris Basio, his pitching coach. Question is, as the season goes on, there will be talk about where Arrieta pitches next year. He will be a free agent after this season. Be a big payday for him if he comes close to repeating what he's done the last couple of years.
Yeah, no question about that.
That's high in the air towards center field. Hayward looking up and clear the deck. Cannonball coming for Francisco Cervelli. It is his second of the season. Nobody's hit the ball harder on the Pirates team than Cervelli the early going this season. And John was talking about this beginning of the ball game, the home run ball against the Pirates by Arrieta, his previous 3 starts.
And Cervelli deserved that, and it was windblown. Most days that's an out in just about any other ballpark, but with the wind howling out at 30 miles an hour, Cervelli gets just enough of it. But there's been at least 2, maybe 3 balls that he's hit already this year that have been outs that could have left the ballpark.
He'll take the Wrigley Field homer. Pirates on the board. Goes to show you, that's one of the things that David Freese trying to encourage Glass now. A day like today, doesn't matter who's pitching, you're in this ball game.
And again, Arrieta, he likes to pitch up in the zone. He's missed with a number of pitches already that were up and out over the plate. All you got to do is get it airborne, hit it decent.
Broken bat maybe. Bryant retires Josh Harrison. Pirates on the board as Francisco Cervelli homers. Inning number 2, Francisco Cervelli. It's the home run. Getting to know is brought to you by AARP. These teams have scored the smallest percentage of their runs via the homer this season. The Diamondbacks top that list. Pirates tied for second with the Red Sox, and then the Cubs. 28% of the runs scored via the homer by the Cubs. Pirates 25% coming into today. And the Pirates now with 6 home runs on the year, and the Cubs with the Bryant homer have hit 8. Pirate number fewest in the National League, and the Cubs total second fewest in the senior circuit. Javier Baez was 1 for 4 and scored a run yesterday, hitting .217. I was watching John Smoltz, John Wayner, the other day on the MLB Network, the Hall of Famer, and they were kind of breaking down Tyler Glasnow's first start, which of course was very erratic, the 5 walks, and talking about what they should do with him, what should the Pirates do with him. And Smoltz was adamant. He said, this young man is going to learn so much more by pitching every 5 days at the big league level right now than if you protect him in any way. I mean, like take him out of the rotation or send him back down. And he said it's going to be invaluable, the lessons that he learns as he strikes out Baez.
Yeah, and I have to agree. I mean, I think about it, like I go back to when I was in Altoona as a coach, and I think of guys like Ian Snell and Tom Rorzolani and guys that just had so much stuff that they really didn't have to pitch. All they had to do was throw and just tear through the league and have no problems, no hiccups, because their stuff was that good. And Tyler Glasnow is a lot like that. His stuff is exceptional to where, you know, throughout the minor leagues, very difficult to hit, and he's done everything imaginable in terms of just dominating, really. And so up here, obviously, it's the best hitters in the world. You do have to pitch more than just throw. You have to be able to locate. You need to throw your fastball where you want to most of the time. I mean, a guy with an arm like Glasnow can get away with more mistakes. Like Arrieta is another guy with a good fastball that will get away with some mistakes. But you got to be able to throw your secondary pitches for strikes.
Trying to come back after falling behind Schwarber. 2-0.
Good fastball here. Good movement. Oh, that's a changeup. Mine turned it over. There you go. Another good changeup.
Looking. Becoming his go-to pitch here. Struck out 4, including 3 in a row looking.
That's a real weapon. I mean, when he's throwing that hard, he's been up to 97, 98, and then to be able to throw that with some movement. Yeah, most young pitchers struggle. It's rare do you see a pitcher just come onto the scene and dominate.
Weekly hit to Alan Hansen over by the second base bag. Much better for Tyler Glasnow. 1-2-3. 4-1 Cubs. the Pirates and Cubs meet. Game 3 between the Pens and Blue Jackets. Pens now leading 2-0. And hope to keep rolling away from home ice. Series now shifting to Columbus. Get ready with Pens pregame presented by Levin Mattress and Furniture after Pirates baseball tomorrow. A day that baseball celebrates Jackie Robinson Day. Also a day where Ernie Banks made history with his 500th career home run. Mr. Cub. On a windy day, you'll see the camera even shakes at times out in center. 24-mile-an-hour winds gusting toward center. Here is Alan Hansen making his first start of the season. Have a look at the Windy City and the Windy Wrigley. See if Alan Hansen can't provide a little bit of a spark. A lot of times you see a guy added to the lineup late. It seems as though those guys contribute. Whether that's true or not, don't know. It sure seems that way. Hansen made his first big league start September 17th last year. Ended up starting 5 games the final month of the season. Switch hitter. 24 years old. If he gets on, good chance he'll try to take off. That's one weakness. If you really have to look deep inside the numbers for Arrieta. Doesn't do a great job of maintaining and controlling the running game. Pop up, shallow left center, and Hayward.
That's where the wind hurts you as a hitter. You know, yesterday there was a little breeze blowing in. That ball probably drops, but with the wind, kept that ball in the air longer. 3-1 pitch. Boy, look at that pitch. That pitch is a foot outside. 3-1. You want to look for something you can drive, and boy, he really went out and helped Arrieta hitting that ball off the end.
Glasnow's first at bat of the season. David Freese having some fun with Glasnow. Took a big rip at that. Still 0-2.
I like the fact he made a little contact.
One for 7 at the plate with the Pirates last year for Glasnow. Fourth punch out for Glasnow for Arrieta. Top of the order, Adam Frazier. We invite you to bring the whole family to Kids Sunday a week from tomorrow. Pirates will be concluding their 3-game series against the Yankees at 1:35. Enjoy fun and games before, during, and after the game. Plus, every kid 14 and under will get a Pirates water bottle courtesy of Allegheny Health Network Transplant Institute. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays. Pirates entertaining the Yankees beginning next Friday night. There'll be a fireworks night and a free shirt Saturday and a Kids Sunday. Then these Cubs come in for 3. Ben Hurdle has had Frazier and Marte atop the order. Tried Harrison yesterday. It's the 4th game that Frazier has led off. Mercer has led off 5 times against lefties. Getting his first major league start today at short.
So Amazing how compact the swing is for Adam Frazier, how little movement he has in his hands and feet. Just about every hitter has some sort of trigger where they take their hands back. Adam, not a whole lot. You'll see not much of a stride, direct path to the ball. A little waggle the bat, but then he just sets him. What I mean by trigger, like hitters typically, some guys will take their hands back as the pitcher's delivering the ball, but with Adam Frazier, he's back already. He just comes straight forward. You see just getting a piece of that.
Scrappy player from Athens, Georgia. 6th round pick out of Mississippi State 4 years ago. His first taste of the big leagues last year. Hit .301 in 66 games. And a line toward left field, and that is going to get past a diving Schwarber. Into the corner it goes. Frazier into second base and figures I can easily get 3, and he will. A triple for Adam Frazier.
Good at bat after falling behind. Once again, Adam Frazier driving a ball the other way. It's a little backdoor breaking ball, and again left up in the zone above the belt. And Frazier, you see it there, short, compact. Allegheny Health Network Supermo, and showing the ball just out of the reach. Schwarber.
Second career triple for Frazier, first this season. Marte has had his share of infield singles, so the fact that Frazier at third could be helpful. Oftentimes you hear people say, well, it really doesn't matter with 2 outs. In this case it might. He falls behind 0-1.
Marte, like Frazier, wide stance, not much of a stride. And Frazier doesn't really even pick up his front foot. Marte picks the heel up, puts it straight back down. You can make this a 1-run game. Arrieta leaves another ball up. Left that one up too, but maybe too high. Like by the body language of Arrieta and his catcher Contreras, they thought that was in the zone. There you see it.
Plenty of the zone. Line to left field. Gets down. Marte brings home Adam Frazier and makes it 4-2. RBI number 6 for Marte.
And again, the fastball just 92 miles per hour from Arrieta, and it looked like it caught plenty of plate. Marte takes advantage. Fastball actually on the inside corner. Marte just gets the hips through, gets the bat out front, gets extended.
Talked again about Arrieta trying to keep those runners close at first. Last year, 23 successful steals against him in 26 attempts. On the other side, maybe the neutralizer is Wilson Contreras, the young catcher. Caught 35% of the runners last year. There goes Marte, taken for a ball, and an easy steal of second. his second stolen base.
Yeah, that was a huge jump. Arrieta has that high leg kick. Not much of a slide step. See him lift up that left leg. Marte 3 steps before Arrieta releases the ball. No catcher is going to have much success when the pitcher allows the guy to get that big a jump.
Fly ball to right. And Zobrist. The Pirates get a run as Marte singles home Frazier. 4-2.
Lead at half, it's 4-2. The Pirates trail by 2. I'm Robbie, it's Mikowski here on Jackie Robinson Day. And as you know by now, every player, coach, and manager is wearing number 42 all throughout Major League Baseball. But Josh Harrison took it a step further. He's wearing special Jackie Robinson cleats. It has Jackie Robinson's signature on the outside, a picture of the old stadium on the tongues with the dates 1947 to 2017 on the inside. Look at that inscription. Mitch Keller from the minor leagues, the Pirates minor league system, is also wearing very similar cleats, but a really, really, really nice tribute, Greg and John, to a wonderful, wonderful guy who not only broke baseball's color barrier, but was one heck of a baseball player on the field, inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 1962, and players all day, all throughout baseball, paying their own special tributes, just like Jay Hay.
70 years ago today, Jackie Robinson made his major league debut, was playing first base at Ebbets Field against the Boston Braves. And that ball ripped down the right field side by Rizzo into the corner. A leadoff double.
And Tyler Glasnow got Rizzo on a changeup back in the first. Went to it again here in the third. First pitch changeup. Perhaps Rizzo sitting on it, hit it hard.
Third double, 175th of his career. He's there for Zobrist. Robbie talking about the special shoes that Josh Harrison is wearing, likewise Andrew McCutchen. One ball, one strike. Point Park University tweet, Andrew McCutchen tweeted out. Those shoes showed if we all work together, greatness happens. This is the only remaining ballpark that Jackie Robinson actually played in. Never played at Fenway and Dodger Stadium. Was not completed by the time he had retired. Jackie Robinson would of course play a bunch of games at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. An old ballpark where he hit 295 here at Wrigley in 93 games with 5 homers. In 102 games at Forbes, he would hit 18 home runs and hit 342. It was one of his favorite ballparks. 3-2 the count, and now time is called.
It looks like again he saw the strike zone there, that Tyler Glasnow not getting a call on that 2-2 fastball under the hands of Ben Zobrist.
Alan Porter behind the dish. Cervelli trying to calm his rookie right-hander. He really blamed himself. Cervelli did at first start. So didn't do a good enough job slowing the game down for him.
And having again great confidence in that changeup, throwing it here 3-2. See the good tail running away from Zobrist. Zobrist trying to hit a ball to the right side.
Wow, a swing and a miss, and works out great for the Cubs. They have runners at first and third.
Boy, that was a cross-up.
A strikeout and a wild pitch.
And yeah, I'm guessing that Cervelli thought he was getting a curveball the way he reacted. And I don't think that ball touched his glove. I think it, we'll see where it hits him.
Going a pass ball.
Again, the changeup. There it is. He was going down as if, as if it was going to be a curveball, and hit him in that left wrist. And even though it's a changeup, I mean, he's throwing his changeup in the upper 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't feel good.
Right. Right off that wrist. He's taking his time to shake off that pain.
45 pitches for Glasnow. I want to say about a third of them have been changeups, and that's encouraging because it looks like he's throwing it where he wants to.
Yeah, got confidence in it for sure. Now it's first and third with nobody out following the strikeout pass ball, and the batter is Addison Russell, who tripled past McCutchen in the first inning.
So it's really, and I don't know if there's 2 seamers, 4 seamers, whether he's trying to take a little bit off or add and subtract from that fastball. But I just think it's interesting to see the fastball. We've seen the fastball at times 92, 93. We've seen the changeup as high as 91. Then we've seen the fastball at 95, 97, 98. And that's not the place you want to leave the changeup. He went right on right change to the right-handed hitting Russell, and he left that one up around the letters.
Another strike, though, that wasn't called.
Yeah. And this is a play you see a lot from Joe Madden. First and third.
Used to call it the Chuck Tanner play.
Yeah.
Tanner used to do it all the time. The Pirates. Not much way to defend it. Strike called on Russell. 2-2. Infield is at double play depth.
Fastball right at the knees. Good pitch there. See what he wants to go to now. Maybe go with the hook. Maybe get a strikeout.
Line in the left center. And it skips past Harrison. Runner going to be waved and will score. 6-2.
Surprised he didn't go to the curveball there. Addison Russell got a fastball down and away, and his first at bat hit a triple the other way. Fastball center cut. Short and quick.
Russell gets a double and 2 ribbies, so he has a triple, a double, and has driven in 3 his first 2 at bats. Here's Hayward, who singled past a drawn-in infield in the first inning. Hansen to Bell. That's the first out. Russell to third. Contreras coming to the plate and Arrieta on deck. Cubs with the 6 runs on 6 hits. 1 of the runs unearned. Josh Harrison getting his first start in left field. Made 7 starts in left field 2 years ago.
It hasn't gone to the curveball that often, Tyler Glasnow. Tried to throw one in there for a strike, misses.
Two and 0. Blocked by Cervelli. Change up.
One of the few bad ones we've seen. Try to throw the curveball again. 2-0. Not be surprised to see Contreras swinging here.
Contreras was called up last year. The Pirates were in town. Made his major league debut.
A 3-0 changeup.
That's all you need to know. The confidence he has in that pitch.
Well, I'm sure Contreras thought for sure he was getting a fastball, geared up for it, and you see how far out in front he was.
To third, a chance at the plate. Well done by Freese and Cervelli. And they'll Russell at the plate.
Cervelli tagging out Russell. Russell with the cleats high, looked like a little bit. Don't think he got any piece of Cervelli. I'm wondering if Madden is going to ask if Cervelli was blocking the plate. And he got the ball plenty early.
sets. They're calling New York.
Yeah, and when you watch Cervelli where he sets up, he's set up his left foot is about by the foul line there, so he has to give Freese a good lane, but I don't know where else you want him to stand. I mean, and so when he catches it as Russell starts his slide, and then Cervelli puts his leg in front of Addison Russell, which is totally legal.
Joe West, the crew chief, and home plate umpire Alan Porter checking in with New York. Home plate collision rule, one of the new rules implemented the last couple of years, a handful of them. You and I were on the radio side yesterday, and people just keep wanting to change this game. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. We were talking about Joel Sherman, the writer from New York, who's on the MLB Network, and he is out.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean,
but anyway, I think Joel Sherman's fantastic. But they were debating whether they should end games in extra innings after 12 innings. And you take a look.
Yeah. I mean, it's
call confirmed.
Nothing more that you could do as a catcher.
No challenge remaining for the Cubs. Looked as though Contreras wanted to run but shut it down. Jake Arrieta struck out looking in the first. And 2-0. Nice little feather in Glasnow's cap if he can get out of this without that run on base scoring. But he's fallen behind now, 3-0.
Well, even there, I mean, it's almost as if he feels more confident throwing strikes with his changeup, and he even threw a changeup here to Jake Arrieta on a 2-0 pitch.
Glasnow last year 8-3 with a 187 ERA and 20 starts at AAA. Full count now. Arrieta facing the rookie Glasnow, who made 7 appearances, 4 starts last season for the Pirates, a 4.24 ERA. Second start this season, first ever at Wrigley. Big cut from Arrieta.
It was his first swing. Struck out looking on 3 pitches. His first at bat.
In on him, a roller. Frazier will pick up over there and throws out Jake Arrieta. A couple of runs in. Cross up didn't help. 6-2.
What drives you?
Back at Wrigley Field, Easter weekend, 6-2 Cubs. On to the fourth. Cervelli, Tom Prince, Pirates bench coach and a longtime Pirates catcher. Look like they're discussing that play at the plate. And talking a little bit more about Glass now.
Tom Prince was, you saw him, Buffalo in here, maybe the best defensive catcher I've ever played with. And no disrespect to, Mike LaValliere or Don Slaughter, Charles Johnson, but Prince was one of the best.
Speaking of that, day automotive this day in Pirates history. 1993, Pirates beat the Padres in 13 innings. Bucks were down 1 in the 9th inning and set to pinch hit for Tom Prince, who was due up third. But out of the first 2 batters reached, Prince called upon to sacrifice them over. Eventually, Jay Bell singled in the tying run. Then in the 13th, Carlos Garcia and Prince had RBI hits. Prince's end up being the winning tally after Fred McGriff homered in the bottom half of the inning in a wild game on this date in 1993. Princey grew up not too far away from here. Absolutely an outstanding defensive catcher. Big league career. And he had that Buffalo shuttle going. Up and down a number of years between Buffalo and the big league club. And then went on to play for the Dodgers. Time with the Phillies, Twins, and Royals. David Freese struck out looking in the second. Arrieta has struck out 4. Francisco Cervelli homered off of him in the second. Adam Frazier with a triple with 2 outs and a starting Marte single got the Bucks another run. Deep short for Russell. Freese retired. And we'll bring up Josh Bell. These 2 clubs hooked up 19 times again last year. They'll do the same this season. The Cubs won 14 in the season series last year, on their way to winning 103 games. Last time a Cubs team won 100 or more games in consecutive years, 1909, 1910. The 3-finger Mordecai Brown team with Frank Chance and Johnny Evers and Joe Tinker. Into center field and ripped by Bell with 1 out. Josh Bell is aboard with 1 away, and he'll bring up Cervelli.
Turned that fastball around, did Josh? See Josh Bell got that big leg kick, has that front foot in the air, pulled those hands in, kind of alligator armed that back up the middle. And we showed you Adam Frazier from that side and how little movement Adam Frazier has. Josh Bell a little more movement, especially with that front leg, that leg kick stride, a little more movement in the hands, but right on time with that one.
Contreras with a block. Bell picks up the hit, his 5th of the season in 31 at bats. Cervelli, the wind-blown home run with 2 outs in the second. Second home run that Arrieta has allowed this season. Talking about how Jake Arrieta owned the Bucks. His career, almost every single start was just, the Pirates seemed to have no chance until the last 3 starts of last year. July 8th, Pirates scored 6 runs against him in 6 innings. Snap throw. Contreras likes to do that. Hit a pair of home runs off Arrieta. That was at PNC Park. And then August the 29th here at Wrigley, Pirates scored 6. Made a pair of homers off of him. He lasted only 6 1/3. The Pirates beat him 8-4 September 28th. He lasted only 5 innings, gave up 7 runs on 10 hits, and they hit a home run off of him.
I think hitters, the more you face a guy, the more comfortable you're going to get. Especially with a guy like Arrieta, obviously, hard thrower, big guy, throws, as we talked about, across his body. Just a different look. Good hard slider, although we haven't seen many of those today. Curveball, occasional changeup.
If you include that wild card game where he shut out the Pirates, (13) of his starts prior to that run the Pirates had against him, that final 3 that we talked about, the previous 13 starts, they had hit a total of 3 home runs off of him, and that came all in one game while he was pitching for the Orioles. That was a Cub game in late September of 2013. A total of 3 homers. And now they have hit 6 in his last 4 starts as Cervelli can't hold up.
That big curveball from Arrieta. You see the 2 in the strike zone. Those are the ones you want to go after. They were up middle. 2 breaking balls. One was a slider. This the curveball, and Cervelli unable to hold up.
Josh Harrison. One and 0. Alan Hansen is on deck, and then the pitcher spot. If the Pirates got any action between now and then, we would see a pinch hitter and Trevor Williams just in case starts to loosen. Bullpen's now located behind the right and left field walls here. Out of play. One and 2.
I think we've seen some from Arrieta again. Velocity not the same as it was in previous years. He's averaging just 91.6 mph on that fastball. A couple good sinkers here to Josh Harrison, turning the ball over. The way he throws across his body, and when he was throwing 94, 95, I mean, the ball would just kind of take off, almost look like it would cut away from the right-handed batter. Now you see the sink running into the righty.
Bounced right there to Bryant for the force at second. 4 innings. Arrieta has allowed a couple runs. Leads by 4. coming to town. Starting next Friday night, it's a Zambelli Fireworks night. Pirates Yankees 7:05 after the game. Great Zambelli Fireworks show presented by 93.7 The Fan. Go to pirates.com/fireworks for your tickets. Big series against the Bronx Bombers. They are hosting the Cardinals this afternoon and lead that game 3-1 in the 8th. They're coming to Pittsburgh for only the second time since the Pirates beat them in the 1960 World Series. UPMC scoreboard here in Chicago, it is 6-2 Cubs. We're referencing the last time a Cubs team won 100 or more games consecutive years. Let's go back to 1909, 1910. The 1909 season, they finished second to the Pirates. And the Pirates went on to play in the World Series in 09.
Is that the year you said they had 100 wins, over 100 wins? Cubs?
They did, yeah.
And they
finished second. The Pirates won 110.
Wow.
And they beat the Tigers in the World Series that year, 4-3.
Is that when there was what 154 games?
I think it was 152 then.
Wow.
Now 2-2. Glass now knows this is his final inning. Schwarber to follow. Baez struck out in the second. Javier Baez has cut way back on those strikeouts. A bugaboo of his when he came to the big leagues 3 years ago, when he struck out 95 times in 213 at bats. Last year, 421 at bats, 108 strikeouts. He really cut back on that wild swinging. Three and 2. 24 years old, Puerto Rico. The National League Championship Series co-MVP with John Lester.
And that's the one thing about Tyler today. I mean, even 3-2 count. I mean, you just can't sit dead red fastball. Is once again timeouts called. Alan Porter walks out from behind Francisco Cervelli.
Oh, strikes him out with the breaking ball. 6 Ks. Second time he's gotten Baez.
And there's some of that undisciplined from Baez, is not even close to being a strike. Just guessing fastball was all. Not looking, but guessing.
So this year, that's 9 strikeouts for Baez and 25 at bats. 6 Ks for Glass now. Schwarber.
That's again that confidence. 2-0 changeup. Schwarber didn't like it, thought it was away. There you see a bit off that outside edge. Comes back with a fastball in there for a strike. Pitching backwards a bit, Tyler Glass now. Oh, another good curveball. We haven't seen him go to that very often with 2 strikes.
That has been his weapon, the big weapon for Glasnow, along with that power fastball in the minor leagues that can be a devastating curveball.
Boy, look at it disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing looked like it was hovering down the middle of the plate and just disappears down and in.
So he's got one more out to get. He has a career high 7 strikeouts, and this is his 9th major league game, his 6th big league start. When all is said and done, as Bryant checks that one foul, the Pirates will be very, very encouraged by this from Glasnow. You could break this down, and if he gets some help, a little bit of defensive help, if he doesn't have that cross up, much tighter ball game. Into the second baseman Hansen. So the Pirates and Glasnow, yep, they are down 6-2, but this is much, much better. Shots from today's action to the sounds of Milestone coming to Stage AE April the 28th. On this April 15th, celebrating Jackie Robinson Day. The Pirates and Cubs playing the middle game of their 3-game series. Going to inning number 5. And Alan Hansen will lead things off. Tyler Glasnow is on deck. See what happens. Hansen swings and pops up the first pitch. Look out. Oh, last second split decision by Baez.
I don't know what that was all about. I don't know if he said something, but Addison Russell started to take off towards him. That was bizarre.
Yeah. Didn't look like anybody was calling it.
I mean, it's right to Baez. It's his ball, but I guess the way he was standing, I think Addison Russell looked over there like, what are you doing?
Did you see anybody calling anything?
No.
Two-0 count on Glasnow. Arrieta has struck out 5. He's allowed 4 hits. All 3. Addison Russell after that play will pop up. Three 3-0. No walks for Arrieta. in this ball game. He walked 4 total in his first 2 starts, covering 13 innings. Wow.
Yeah, he's like taking some off too, as far as like, I mean, the last 2 fastballs, 89 and 88.
And there have been times when he has been not necessarily all over the plate, but missing badly, Arrieta. Tyler Glasnow, very encouraging what we've seen from him on the mound this afternoon. Glasnow through his stint so far, through 4, has thrown 77 pitches. You see Arrieta at 80, 1 out into the 5th. First baseman playing off the bag behind Glasnow. That's Anthony Rizzo. Glasnow's a pretty good athlete. We saw him in spring training run the bases a little bit.
Wow. Pitch looked to be a little bit off the plate. Arrieta gets the call. Although I thought the first one might have been a strike.
Nope. Well, should be 2-0.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh,
that's
boy.
insane.
It is. That's crazy.
And Adam Frazier behind the count, but usually pretty good with 2 strikes. Adam Frazier. It doesn't matter to him if it's 2-0 or 0-2. Although with the inconsistent strike zone, you might have to expand and extend that zone a little more than you normally would.
And Arrieta will throw to second for 1 and to first, a double play. Hard to believe that 7-game losing streak does end. The Phillies beat the Nationals 4-2. Jeremy Hellickson is off to a 2-0 start. The Yankee game is in the 8th inning with the Yankees up 3-1 on the Cardinals. Reds hosting the Brewers, leading 7-5 in Cincy in the top of the 8th. Reds 7-4 to lead the National League Central Division early on. Pirates will be in St. Louis starting on Monday to continue this road trip. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Now Glasnow facing Anthony Rizzo. He doubled into the right field corner leading off the third. Struck out his first at bat. And he's hit by the pitch.
Nothing new there.
Yeah. Hit twice yesterday and seemingly every year among the league leaders in that department. Rizzo doesn't seem to budge.
Yeah. Curveball just kept running in. On the back knee. You know, talked about it yesterday. Got hit in that front knee. Right on the kneecap. Didn't flinch, didn't say anything, do anything. Just trotted down the first. That one on the left knee, so one off of each kneecap. And I don't care if it's a breaking ball or not. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. He's fallen behind Zobrist 2-0.
And Zobrist, when he gets in his stance, I don't know why. It reminds me of like a little leaguer, the way he kind of wiggles that bat in his hand. He has a little bit of crouched over a little bit and wiggles that bat.
Yeah.
Another changeup from Tyler Glasnow. Ben Zobrist wears his wedding ring.
You see that too often.
I've never seen that before.
On the playing field.
Fastball there. Yeah, you have to get the batter thinking a little bit, throwing those change-ups behind in the count. And then Tyler again gets fastball in there. It's just 93, but Zobrist couldn't pull the trigger.
Full count, a big pitch now.
It's had some full counts. It's had some 3-ball counts. It hasn't walked the batter.
Reached on the shortstop's error in the first, Adam Frazier, and scored an unearned run, and then struck out in the third, but reached on the pass ball.
Full count. Rizzo might be going. It's taking a pretty big lead. Tony Prince put on the signs, control the running game.
There goes the runner. It's taken for a ball. It's first and second. And that is the first walk allowed by Glasnow. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Up comes pitching coach Ray Searage.
I'm sure out to buy some time for the bullpen.
Trevor Williams has gotten back up. hits Rizzo with the breaking ball, then walked Zobrist on the 3-2. Addison Russell has tripled and doubled. He's driven in 3.
That was a big at bat. I think his last at bat, he had a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. Ended up throwing a fastball that caught too much plate. Comes right at him upstairs, 92. After seeing that, the curveball, he broke it out there in the 4th inning to get a couple strikeouts. That's where I was, thought where he'd go at Russell, and that the bat where he drove into is a big cut from Russell underneath it.
1 ball, 1 strike. And now 2-1. To center. Marte barely has to move. First out. Rizzo at second. Zobrist at first as Glass now retires Russell for the first time this afternoon.
And again on a changeup, right on right change. And man, I mean, it's has to feel good in that respect for Tyler Glass now that he has found some comfort with that pitch and throwing it for strikes, throwing it out of the zone for chase, throwing it to righties and lefties.
Well, he faces Jason Hayward. He was able to get out of that 3rd inning. He had a runner at 3rd. With 1 out, is able to get out of it, and a bouncer to the right side. Hansen will throw to second for 1. Second out. Hayward reaches on the fielder's choice. Rizzo to 3rd. It brings up Wilson Contreras.
Just Hansen does a good job making sure of the 1. You aren't going to get 2 on that. Hayward runs pretty well. And anytime a ground ball takes a second baseman to his left, tough to turn 2.
Contreras popped to first in the 1st. And bounced to David Freese with a drawn-in infield in the 3rd inning. Trevor Williams is ready. Not that you're looking to allow a free pass here, but Jake Arrieta is on deck. He's a good hitting pitcher, but a position guy, of course. 2-1.
And again, the changeup. Good downward movement.
John, do you remember a guy throwing as many changeups? A right-hander like this?
No, not. I mean, not. And he's a power guy. That's what's so amazing about it.
96 there.
I'm sure it was part of the game plan to throw the changeup. And you have to wonder also, does he feel more comfortable with it in terms of throwing it in the strike zone, or at least getting chases? So Contreras, he has to be wondering. I mean, he's been able to pick up the curveball and not chase it. So chances are this pitch will be a fastball or a changeup. I guess changeup. Changeup left up. But again, like you said, Arrieta. Coming to the plate, so you didn't want to give in to a guy like Contreras. It could essentially put the game away if he were to get a hold of one. But you have to make pitches here.
There's one. Couple of strikes now on his mound opponent.
You know, it's interesting I noticed today with Cervelli behind home plate, not moving around a whole lot, in or out. You know, for the most part, he's setting up behind the plate.
A little pop up, shallow right. McCutchen there. Tyler Glass now puts up another 0. Pirates trailing 6-2.
Chevy Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
6-2 ball game. The Cubs lead it. Heading to inning number 6. The birthday, number 50, and for number 42, everyone wears 42 today. David Freese, who was really trying to encourage Glasnow, keep your chin up after that rough first inning. Maybe kind of congratulating him on getting out of that. And as we said earlier, a couple innings back, Pirates and Glasnow have to just be extremely encouraged by today.
Yeah, and again, there are the 6 runs. Tough conditions today. 2 of those, I believe 2 are unearned.
Yep.
So 4 earned runs in all, but walking through the first 4. And really grew confident with that changeup.
Cervelli. Ray Searage. Now see if the Pirates can get him some runs. Clint Hurdle.
But obviously a competitive guy. Tyler Glasnow is not used to failing and not used to losing. And so, yeah, these guys are trying to get his spirits up, but he's a competitor. He wants to win.
Marte, RBI single his last at bat, brought in Adam Frazier, who had tripled with 2 outs off Arrieta in the 3rd inning. Nope. Joe West says Marte did not swing.
And again, with the conditions, a lot of ball game left. Get a couple runners on. Never know.
Line to left, foul.
And again, a fastball at 89 from Jake Arrieta.
Well, Cubs don't seem to be concerned, but you were looking at charts earlier today, and you talked about it early on that it's down a little bit, that fastball, and the trend has been when it's down early, it stays down throughout the course of a baseball season. So even they're publicly not saying anything about health. There's a drive to left field. Going back is Schwarber. He'll just look up and clear the deck. Little Marte parte time. That's his second, and it is 6-3. Another home run against Arrieta. A 90-mile-per-hour fastball from Arrieta. Deposited into the left field bleachers.
Yeah, he turned around the 3-1 fastball and hit it just foul. This one, he stayed through it. Not a bad location either. I mean, it looked like it was borderline in. But Marte pulls the hands in.
Breaking ball stays in.
Well, that's a tough one to keep fair. And he knew it.
Grounded to Bryant.
A little help from the wind.
Arrieta reacts.
Yeah.
Marte now with 7 runs batted in through the first 11 Pirate games. This is game number 11. Last year, Marte drove in only 46 runs in 129 games. What John was talking about early, look at his velocity going back 4 seasons.
Yeah, up 2015, up close to 95, and that's when he was just about unhittable. The Cy Young year. But yeah, that
velocity spiked after his first 5 starts, you see.
But still, I mean, 2 miles per hour, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Big dip. He's caught looking in the second, and then the grounder to short in the 4th. He's at the 95 pitch mark. He is close to finishing up his day, and he would like to get the last 2 outs, but you see Brian Dunsing is getting ready. Switch hitting Josh Bell on deck.
With Arrieta, again, throwing across his body, I would think the toughest pitch for him to throw for a strike is the one down and away to a right-handed batter. And it's 3 straight he threw right there where Contreras is set up. The previous 2 went for balls. That one, according to Alan Porter, catching the corner.
And a fly ball to right, Zobrist. And that is going to be it. Josh Bell will not face Arrieta. Joe Maddon's going to turn him around and bring on the lefty. Arrieta will go 5 2/3 innings. Give up 3. And leave with the lead. Again, now you've got to talk about 4 straight starts, going back to the 3 last year where he just nothing close to the dominant Arrieta against the Pirates we had seen for so many starts. Still, he leaves up by 3.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It is 6-3 Cubs. Pirates batting in the top of the 6th. Lefty Brian Dunsing replaces Jake Arrieta. 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, the 2 homers. Now Josh Bell batting right-handed and a ground ball. Shortstop there. What a play, Addison Russell. Just gliding. A lot of range. Scooping and getting Bell.
Makes it look easy.
his second full season as a member of the Chicago Cubs, but already is making an impact in the city of Chicago. Earlier this week, he had a street named after him in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood. It's called Javier Baez Way. Humboldt Park has a large Puerto Rican population where he's from and has 15 different softball and baseball fields, and the teams there are named after the towns on the island. Now, Baez lost his father when he was 11 years old and also lost his sister 2 years ago. And many years ago, he promised his mom that he would provide for his family. He's not only doing that, Greg and Rob, but he's making quite the impact here in the city of Chicago. The way he's playing the game of baseball, just 2 full seasons, and he already has a street named after him.
That's unbelievable. That is
Yeah,
really
that's crazy.
Jeez. Baez struck out twice against the starter Glass. Now John Jaso takes over at first base. New pitcher is Trevor Williams.
For Trevor, just his 3rd appearance. 4 innings, 6 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody.
To right, McCutcheon, and a base hit for Baez the other way.
Just reaches out, gets it off the end of the bat. Boy, very barely off the end of the bat. I'm surprised that ball even carried that far. I mean, it. Never know. Make more contact, like you mentioned. His last time up, make more contact. You're going to get more hits.
Tyler Glass now goes 5 innings, gives up 6 runs, 4 earned, 6 hits. He walked a couple and struck out, career high 7. On the home run to Chris Bryant in the first. Schwarber had led off the first inning with a double off the end of the bat. Snap throw by Cervelli, and Jaso could only blindly swing his first baseman's mitt around and hope to get a piece of it, and maybe he did. Pirates look like they might want a challenge here.
Jaso looked in to Clint Hurdle. If he got him, if he got that front leg, maybe.
Doesn't look like it. Schwarber 2 more strikeouts, now 18 punchouts this season for Kyle Schwarber. Jonathan Dr of the Brewers came into today's action having struck out 18 times, the most in the league.
That's going to be about half, right? Half his at bats. How many at bats could you have this early?
And another one. Schwarber has now struck out 19 times.
40?
Yeah, 41 at bats.
41? Fastball. Schwarber knew it right on that outside edge.
Long home run for Chris Bryant, his first of the season. Hit the scoreboard and left.
Watch out.
Chris Bryant, 39 homers, drove in 102 last year. We're all okay over there. Marty's good. Thumbs up. Yep. 96 from Trevor
Yeah,
Williams.
I mean, he's throwing the ball hard out of the bullpen, and that looked like it had some late cut to it as well. Looked like it just kept running away from Bryant. Treat to be in Chicago in April and have temperatures reach just about 80 degrees.
Yeah. Extremely pleasant day here. Williams wants to keep Baez close. One more here tomorrow.
It says 82.
$41,814 on hand. Another 96, still 1-2 on Bryant.
Trevor Williams has a pretty good slider as well, but he just continues to pound that fastball in there.
His last outing on Tuesday against the Reds, game the Pirates lost 6-2. He did give up a 3-run homer to Scooter Gennett in his previous outing. He helped the Pirates in their come-from-behind victory, the walk-off win last Sunday against the Braves. A 10-inning victory, and he gets another strikeout. Bryant caught looking.
And there's the good slider. Looked like Chris Bryant liked the call, but nothing wrong with that one. That's right there. That's one you can argue with.
Rizzo at the plate. Surprised at the call from Alan Porter, it looks like.
Oh, see why? Whoa, looky there.
Oh boy. They got, I'm going to challenge that. Well, now.
Wow, what a pick by Frazier there. That's a beautiful
Frazier.
pick.
He gets a put out, but should get an assist as well as Cervelli. Caught stealing Baez.
He's not moving. Baez thinks he's safe. Here's the pick. The tag.
Still not moving from second. 30-second clock.
It's the delay steal, by the way, not the straight steal, a delay steal.
That's going to be it. They're not going to challenge. Cervelli and Frazier. Now Baez to end the bottom of the 6th. of the series. Jameson Taillon has been tremendous his first 2 starts. So too has the veteran lefty John Lester. Coverage begins at 1:30 tomorrow. The Pirates and the Cubs from Wrigley Field. Taillon versus Lester, and Lester, of course, not working with the personal catcher David Ross. Nice play there. Nice soft hands by Rizzo. Retires Cervelli.
Should be a good matchup. Looking forward to that one.
Bucks and Pucks doubleheader. Pirates in the afternoon, the Pens and the Blue Jackets at night. The Nashville Predators lead the Chicago Blackhawks in their series 1-0. They'll play game 2 tonight here in Chicago. Josh Harrison 0 for 2 against Arrieta. This is lefty Brian Densing. All these players wearing number 42, remembering Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier on this very day, 1947 at Ebbets Field. Dodgers played the Boston Braves. Johnny Sane was on the mound for Boston, the first pitcher to face first baseman Jackie Robinson, who grounded out to third base. He would go 0 for 3, would score a run. And the Dodgers would win in his debut 5-3. His last at bat in the major leagues was September 30th, 1956, also at Ebbets Field. Ground out against Bob Friend. And the Pirates right-hander. Brooklyn would win that game 8-6. His final game against the Pirates in Brooklyn. His final home run hit that day off Bob Perky. To the great career numbers he had against Pittsburgh. A drive hit deep to center field. Hayward back, and it is gone. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming for Josh Harrison. He makes it 6-4 with his first home run of the season.
Boy, that was a rocket shot too. That ball just took off the bat of Josh Harrison. Creeping back in it, Greg.
3 solo home runs plus the RBI single by Marte. And it's a 2-run ball game.
See where the pitch is and the location. That just looked like a hanging slider, middle. It just was a matter if it was going to stay up long enough to clear the basket.
Put the baseball in the basket.
Yeah.
Baseball in the basket kind of silences the crowd for the time being.
Air on the fan at the glove, whiffed it.
Let's see if Alan Hansen can get on. He swung at a pitch away on a 3-1 pitch in the third and fly down, and then he popped up on the first pitch he saw in the 5th. J. Hay homers.
And again, pitch may be helping on a 2-0. Fastball might have been away.
Hansen, base hit. The other way for Alan Hansen. That brings up Jaso.
Tying run to the plate in these conditions. You see the first 3 pitches are off the plate away. This one on the outer third. 93 miles per hour. Good approach.
Jaso doesn't get many bats against lefties. Going to try and battle Densing here. And it takes ball 1. Densing his first year with the Cubs. Time twin, and it's ball 2. First at bat for Jason, looking for his first hit of the young campaign.
Maybe it's what he needs. See a lefty. Boy, not fair there. 2-0 curveball in their first strike. Sure he wasn't expecting that. And sometimes, you know, like you mentioned, Jaso facing right-handed pitching. Sometimes you get a little quick. And so
force you to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, when you face left on left, knowing that breaking ball is running away from you, you might force yourself to see it a little bit longer, stay back a little bit longer, keep yourself from opening up. Pretty good cut at that fastball at 93.
Two count. With a left-handed hitter on deck, Adam Frazier. First lefty Densing has faced this season. A fly ball hit towards center field. The wind is blowing, but it's going to stay in the yard. And wow, did Hayward go a long way to get there. Back to first goes Hansen. Not enough.
No, not enough. Thought maybe. But Zobrist, I'm guessing, was called off. Boy, that was a hanging curveball too, and man, Jason knows he just missed it. Let's see where Hayward is and all the ground he had to cover.
Hayward makes the grab in the right center gap for the second out. Hayward playing center field this year. Dexter Fowler, now a Cardinal. Chris Basio checks in with Densing. Lefties hit only 190 against him last season. Spent last year in the Orioles organization. Zobrist and Hayward discussed that play.
Yeah, Zobrist kind of just pulled off.
Hard to believe he got called off that soon.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like,
but it did look like it. He just, as you said, pulled up and watched. Frazier tripled off Arrieta in the third inning and scored. Josh Harrison's home run, the third of the game here at Wrigley. The first time since May of 2015 the Pirates had as many as 3 at Wrigley Field in a ball game.
Dunsing's been leaving a lot of breaking balls up in the zone. These conditions, you don't want to leave many pitches up in the zone.
Frazier was 10 for 24 last year against lefty pitchers, .417 average. This season 1 for 6 against Southpaws. Righty up in the bullpen for Chicago, so this will be it for Densing, it would appear. Pedro Strop. Frazier battling Densing, looking for a way to get on. Pirates are back in this thing, down by a couple. And that'll be out of play. Pirates hit as many as 3 home runs in a game 11 times last season. Good day to hit fly balls deep. Josh Harrison, his first home run of the season, makes it a 6-4 game. With 2 strikes, crowd starts to rev it up.
Good cut there. Hansen was off on that pitch. You have to be sure, especially with the lefty. In these conditions, you don't want to make outs on the bases.
Starling Marte hoping to get a shot here in the 7th. Still 2-2 on Frazier.
Got it up to 94. That last fastball.
He made his Cub debut yesterday. Pitch taken for a ball, and Hansen will get a steal. The second today against the Cubs. Now a base hit can make it a 1-run game.
Again, he reads that he didn't go on first movement. He read the pitcher Dunsing. A strong throw, but not an accurate one.
A little flare into shallow right field, gonna drop in for a hit. Here comes Hansen, he'll score. Adam Frazier has made it a 1-run game in the 7th inning. Boy, did he battle Dunsing, and Hansen's steal pays off.
Big time. Adam Frazier once again against the lefty. 2-strike approach, fighting off pitches. Finally gets one he can serve out to right. Another fastball. This time he gets the hips through, gets the bat head out there. Not quite off the barrel. Got it on him just a little bit, which actually made it easier for Hansen to fly around
he
third.
sure can fly, can he? Wow. Joe Madden calling on the new pitcher Strop. That's it for Dunsing. With a base hit following the Harrison homer, and he steals second off the lefty Dunsing and scores on the Adam Frazier base hit to right. So it's now 6-5, and it's Pedro Strop on to face Starling Marte.
5 appearances, 3 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks.
Marte, 2 for 3. The base hit that brought in Frazier in the 3rd, and the home run to lead off the 6th against Arrieta. Frazier would also like to steal. He has been very aggressive. A short time in the big leagues. Frazier's been caught stealing a couple of times. He's come a little short on the slide in the 2nd. He's creeping.
Good count for Starling.
Two 2-0.
Look at that. Doesn't get the fastball. Marte was geared up for it, trying to get the barrel out, but got the slider instead. That one was up a bit, froze him.
Against Strop over the years, Marte is 2 for 13, a 154 hitter. On Nicasio, up in the Pirates' pen.
Decent lead for Frazier. Not close.
Close pitch.
Another slider. He starts it at Starling Marte. It kind of freezes you as a hitter. It starts at his hip and stays inside.
And now Frazier will get the early jump.
Gapper should score.
Walked him. 2 on, 2 outs, and it's Andrew McCutchen. So Madden wants Rizzo to kill some time here, slow down Strop. Forget the free shirt Saturday coming up. Pirates Yankees middle game of the series this Saturday, 4:05, 1 week from today. First 20,000 fans get a free Andrew McCutchen t-shirt thanks to Point Park University. Go to pirates.com/free shirt for your tickets. Now, over the years, McCutchen has really struggled against Strop. Just 1 hit in 11 at bats, but that 1 hit was a home run. Comes up empty on the first pitch. Really full there, 0-2.
A little over anxious. This big slider running away.
Does not chase, 1-2.
I doubt that he'll throw a fastball first strike. He might show a fastball to McCutchen to try to speed him up, but he's either going to stay slider or waste the fastball away.
Checks and takes. asking for an appeal, but Alan Porter will not grant that. Joe West over there.
Good downward movement. McCutchen with 2 strikes. Able to pick up the spin.
Drive to left field. Way back. And clear the deck. Cannonball coming for Kutch. He's just given the Pirates the lead. It's 8-6. His second home run. The Bucks have come storming back on Jackie Robinson Day here at Wrigley. And they lead it 8-6.
Boy, that's huge. After the bad-looking swing to go behind in the count. 0-2, Andrew McCutchen. Seeing the ball a little bit longer, took a couple sliders. And this one, I don't think it was that bad of a pitch, but he went and got it.
4 home runs today for the Pirates. This one came with 2 aboard. Andrew McCutchen's second of the season.
See where the pitch is. Another slider. Boy, that did stay in the middle. That did stay in the middle. He was still out in front just a little bit, but he knew he got enough of it.
Andrew McCutchen. And the Pirates put a 5 spot on the board, so Glass now off the hook. A very encouraging day in a number of areas as this broken bat went toward the pitcher's mound, and David Freese is retired. But the Pirates rally. Josh Harrison homered. Adam Frazier singled in a run, and with 2 aboard and 2 outs. Little Carlton Fisk action. 8-6 Pittsburgh. Four times Andrew McCutchen's 3-run blast to left, giving Pittsburgh this lead. Another look.
Yeah, that ball just kind of spun and stayed middle. Andrew a little off the end of the bat, but plenty strong enough. That's a big one.
After he fell behind 0-2, chasing those 2-stroke breaking balls. As we mentioned, just his second hit in a dozen at bats against Stroke. Both hits home runs, but this one the biggest.
In that situation, you got a guy like McCutchen up there, as dangerous as he is, and you're going to keep throwing the same pitch one after another. You better not miss with it location-wise, because that will be the result.
Juan Nicasio takes over for the Pirates with Anthony Rizzo at the plate. And he rips it into center. Settle in. This one is far from over.
Yeah. The last time we saw Nicasio, lots of fastballs. He's 0-2 in 5 appearances, a 3.86 ERA, the 6 punch-outs, 2 walks. But yeah, he has that good nasty slider we see so much of. But Thursday in Boston, he just kept coming with the heat. Got the fastball up to 96, 97 miles per hour.
Zobrist takes the strike. And the big blow against Nicasio on Thursday. That Hanley Ramirez 2-run double, and then gave up the opposite field single by Bogarts. These 5 batters at Fenway. Retired 1. Walked 2, 1 intentionally. Hitting Ben Zobrist. Reached on an error in the first, struck out and reached on a pass ball in the third, and walked in the 5th.
Let's see a ground ball hit right at somebody here. And Zobrist might be trying to pull a ball through that big hole on the right side. But Zobrist not happy with that one. Take a look at the UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone. Good pitch.
Hit toward right, McCutchen. Wynn taking that one, still going back, and he makes a fine catch. Runner at first, Rizzo will tag and move up 90 feet.
Boy, that ball just kept going and going. You never know today. This is crazy. I mean, that wind has not stopped blowing out. And Zobrist didn't hit this all that well, but man, it just took off. I don't know how I feel about Rizzo tagging on that. When you have an outfielder running towards the wall, if that ball drops, it might be first and second. You know?
Yeah. Big hefty cut from Russell. Your point is that you got to be down, well down towards second.
I mean, if obviously if there's a, you could kind of tell, and we see this a lot with the runner at second base. You know, there might be a ball that's drilled in the gap or something. You see a outfielder running after it, and runners going to tag from second base, and the ball lands, and they end up not scoring. I mean, you know, they're down a couple of runs here, the Cubs. If that ball gets to the wall, I mean, you have to have second and third. You can't, you know.
The line to left, and Harrison. The hard hit balls here in the 7th inning. After the Rizzo single to center, the ball Zobrist hit, and this line out to left that brings up Jason Hayward. Some Point Park University tweets. Lumber Company doing some work on Easter weekend here at Wrigley Field. That wind blowing out. 3-run homer for Andrew McCutchen. Josh Harrison, a solo home run. Sterling Marte, Francisco Cervelli, Pirates with 4 home runs so far here at Wrigley Field. They homered 4 times September 7th, 2014 here at Wrigley. That's the last time they hit this many home runs here in Chicago. And Andrew McCutchen was part of that, along with Jordy Mercer, Neil Walker, Garrett Cole, the others who homered. September of 2014. Strike is called on Hayward. And Josh Harrison's baseball still in that basket. It's an interesting matchup. Hayward has had great success over the years against Nicasio. .412 hitter. Rizzo at second with 2 down. Blocked there by Cervelli. The third lefty hitter for Nicasio this inning. Is the right-handed hitting Wilson Contreras. Nicasio was in the starting rotation at the beginning of last year, made a dozen starts and then went to the bullpen where he has had more success. And that's where he is this season. There's right-handed hitting Contreras. And that's where Frazier is playing perfectly right there. A scoreless bottom of the 7th inning for Nicasio. Nice defensive play by Andrew McCutchen. Bucks up by 2. Cervelli hit his 2nd home run of the season. That wind blowing out here at Wrigley Field in the 3rd inning against Jake Arrieta. After a triple by Adam Frazier with 2 outs, Starling Marte singled in a run to make it 4-2. Cubs added 2 more in the 3rd, and the Pirates got this home run from Starling Marte, his 2nd of the young season, and made it a 6-3 game. And then it was Josh Harrison with 1 out in the 7th against the lefty Brian Densing to make it 6-4. Adam Frazier against the left-hander with 2 outs, singles home Alan Hansen. And then Pedro Strop on the hill, and with 2 aboard and 2 outs, Andrew McCutchen of the left field wall to give the Pirates an 8-6 lead, a 5-run 7th inning. Pirates need 6 more outs. This will be a memorable come-from-behind victory if they can get those outs. And now they look for some insurance on the UPMC scoreboard. You see they lead by a couple. Koji Uehara becomes the 4th pitcher of the day.
4 2/3 innings, 5 punch outs, a walk, and a knock.
Nice job. A very close play. Bryant did all he could. Phil Goslin, the pinch hitter for Nicasio, drops down a bunt single. Cubs don't have a challenge left, though. Joe Madden can ask for a crew chief review now that it is the 8th inning.
That was a heck of an effort by Bryant, and just beating it. Good look at it right there. Phil Goslin.
Goslin, one of the things that surprised us, John, in spring training watching Goslin, was how fast he is.
Yeah. Run.
Phil Goslin, the pinch hit bunt single to begin the inning. And for Goslin, that is his first Pirate hit in 10 at-bats. And now Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli's home run in the second came off Jake Arrieta. Then he struck out against him in the 4th. He led off the 7th against lefty Brian Dunsing and bounced to Anthony Rizzo. There's Daniel Hudson in the Pirates bullpen getting ready. Two balls, no strikes.
It's a split-fingered fastball. Uehara does not throw hard. He only averages just over 86 miles per hour. He'll cut the ball.
In the air to right, and Zobrist. Goslin tagging, but the hold there. So Goslin at first base with one out for Josh Harrison. I want to send along our thoughts and prayers to Erin Slattery and her family. Lost her father, Bill. So our thoughts with the family at this time. The loss of Bill Slattery. Josh Harrison.
Late on that 87-mile-per-hour fastball. These guys and the Pirates have the version, I guess the left-handed version of Uehara and Wade LeBlanc. In this day and age where guys throw 95, 96, up to 100 miles per hour, you really got to appreciate these guys, the crafty guys that really know how to pitch and come in and get big league hitters out with below average stuff. I think they both have some deception that make the fastball look a little bit harder than the velocity would say.
Uehara, the one-time closer for the Red Sox. The 1-2 on Harrison. Uehara turned 42 years old earlier this month. Osaka, Japan.
That's pretty impressive.
4 years in Boston, came to the big leagues
Baltimore in 2009 after several strong seasons in Japan. The starter there. And playable for Rizzo. He playfully pretends he's going to make the catch, and it's Baez who puts it away.
No surprise there. You know, anytime you got to go backwards for a pop-up with the wind the way it's blowing, that's much easier play for Baez. He's coming in as opposed to going back. I'm sure Rizzo could have backpedaled his way to that ball, but he heard Baez call it, and so
Alan Hansen, big hit last inning, and then a big stolen base as well. Uehara not easy to run on.
You gotta love the 2-out RBIs. Cervelli, a 2-out homer. Marte, a 2-out RBI base hit. 2-out RBI base hit from Frazier. A big one from McCutchen.
That makes the Pirates, what, 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position today?
There's the change of pace. Hansen out in front. Yeah, they haven't had many opportunities with runners in scoring position.
Just 4, but 3 hits.
Yeah.
One-year contract signed with the Cubs for Koji Uehara in December. .600 career appearances in Japan, or 8 seasons in the major leagues now. For Alan Hansen, talked a lot about it during spring training. Out of options. Once a very highly touted prospect. Hansen was signed as a non-drafted free agent in July of 2009 out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Played some shortstop early on in his minor league career, a lot of second base.
Shortstop and hit some bombs.
Yeah. 16 home runs in the South Atlantic League in 2012. He's a strikeout victim. Pirates strand the runner at first base. Into the bottom of the 8th inning with the Pirates up by a couple.
by Barrel. Check out the Barrel Hot List at barrel.com. Now the only way to buy a car. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Pirates leading this ball game. A wild affair here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. 8-6. Some catch. Policeman playing some catch for the youngster. Outside Wrigley.
Go ahead.
Adam Frazier moves from short to second. Jordy Mercer takes over at short. New pitcher Daniel Hudson faces Wilson Contreras.
Seventh appearance for Hudson, 5.40 ERA, 5 punch-outs, a couple of walks, 5 innings.
Popped up, he'll be out of play. Nicasio goes a scoreless, gives up a hit. Follows Tyler Glass now, and in case you missed it, Tyler Glass now. The line will look a little worse than he performed. He performed better than even the 4 earned in 5 innings. And he got a little bit of luck. Maybe a more liberal strike zone, but still, even with that, just 2 walks, and those came in his final inning. Worked his way out of a bases loaded jam in the 5th. He ended up with a career high 7 strikeouts. Did not cave in after a difficult first inning. An error was committed. There's a strikeout and a pass ball in a 2-run 3rd inning. Pirates found themselves down 4-0 in the first and 6-2 after 3. But Glass now a very encouraging, promising start, and with the help from this Pirates offense, they've gotten him off the hook. Josh Harrison involved in a 4-homer day. Francisco Cervelli, 2 of the 4 homers. And Hudson takes care of the catcher Contreras.
Good off-speed pitch there. Health Network Supermo sees that breaking ball running down and away. Contreras waving out in front.
Andrew McCutchen, a 3-run bomb with 2 outs in the 7th inning off Pedro Strop to give the Pirates this lead. Pirates scoring 5 times in the 7th. 5 outs to get. Tommy La Stella is the pinch hitter. Arrieta does not get the win. The Pirates score 3 runs in his 5 2/3 innings. And there's that 5 spot. 3 of those runs off Brian Densing, 2 off of Pedro Strop, and La Stella will foul this out of play. On deck is Javier Baez. And if Hudson can get them in order, he's on his way to doing. One more strike to get La Stella the pinch hitter. Baez next. Then the 9th inning would likely belong to Tony Watson, and he'd face the top of the order: Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, and Anthony Rizzo. Ooh. That pitch hit the mitt without Cervelli having to move.
Yes, Cervelli was set up a little bit outside. You see there the mitt is off the plate, and Hudson throws it right there to him, but
As you can see, well off the outside edge.
Cervelli went into his Tony Pena crouch there. Now it's gotten to 3-2. By John Jaso. The line drive, and Jaso got the big glove up. 2 outs.
Yeah, that's a big out right there. And man, playing over by the line too. Played La Stella perfectly. As you see a rocket shot right off the barrel, and Jaso right there. Step to his left, timed his jump perfectly.
Now Baez, he's 1 for 3. John Jaso, think about how far he's come in a short amount of time. Signing the free agent contract with the Pirates before last year. Never played first base on a regular basis. Been a long-time catcher in the American League.
Pretty wild. You think back to last year where you saw Sean Rodriguez being a late inning replacement for Jaso at first, and this year we've seen Jaso as the late inning replacement.
What an interesting guy John Jaso is. Very cerebral and loves this game. Do anything to help his team win. Selfish. Would love to play every day. Understands his role. Josh Bell begins the year as the everyday first baseman. Jaso even helping out in right field. A 1-2 count on Baez. Josh Bell started at first base today and was 1 for 3. Popped him up. Who's going to call for this one? Frazier. And for Hudson, it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th. The 9th inning coming your way from Wrigley Field. 8-6 Pirates here on Root Sports. Great shots from the Allegheny Health Network Super Mode of the sounds of Twin Forks coming to stage AE April 27th. On to the 9th. Pirates have really battled down early. And the long ball coming into play, 4 home runs.
That'd be a great comeback. 3 outs away.
Going to add on
against this Cubs team that certainly was a thorn in the side of the Pirates a year ago, especially here at Wrigley, as Wade Davis, the closer, getting work here in his 6th game. 1-0, 2 saves. Hasn't allowed an earned run.
Former teammates in Tampa Bay. John Jaso against Wade Davis. One out. Davis had 27 saves last season for the Royals. 1.87 ERA and 45 appearances 2 years ago. The world champion Royals, an 0.94 ERA for Wade Davis. That lights out bullpen Kansas City had for a couple years.
Yeah, he was setting up that year, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago. Not unhittable.
Jorge Soler traded to Kansas City in December for Wade Davis. Remember, the Cubs acquired Aroldis Chapman second half of last year. Chapman then signed with the Yankees as a free agent. Cubs went and dealt for Davis. 0-2 count on Adam Frazier. Tony Watson getting ready. It was a thriller yesterday to pick up the save. Not easy. He'll be facing the same guys he saw in the 9th inning yesterday. Andrew McCutchen is in the hole. And the strikeout is recorded. 2-3 finish.
Yeah, they'll see Adam Frazier chase that often. But Wade Davis, boy, his ball moves all over the place. You can get, as you saw, the fastball up into the mid-90s. And then the bottom just falls out of this breaking ball.
One-time and long-time starter in Tampa Bay, and his first year with the Royals. They converted him to the pen 3 years ago. With 2 down, we look ahead to the bottom of this 9th inning, and these are the players that Watson will be facing. Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and what they've done in their careers against him. It includes yesterday. Wade Davis, pitcher number 5 for the Cubs this afternoon. He is a Florida native, 31 years old, 6'5", 225 pounds. Wade Davis facing Starling Marte.
curveball has some bite to it.
Andrew McCutchen, will he get a chance? And the 3-run homer in the 7th. After Marte drew a walk. Strike 3 is called, and Davis strikes out the side. Marte not so sure. Kyle Schwarber will be leading things off against Tony Watson. Jamison Tyone looking to continue this impressive start. He'll be matched up against lefty John Lester. Coverage begins at 1:30 with Pirates pregame presented by W.B. Mason. Here we are, bottom of the 9th. Didn't think that this one was going to play out as it did, but last now the Pirates righted the ship after that 4-run first. The comeback began. A 5-run 7th. Trevor Williams pitched a scoreless 6th, allowed a leadoff hit. In the 7th, the leadoff hit for Anthony Rizzo against Juan Nicasio. Then he retired the next 3 in a 1-2-3 8th, and now it is Tony Watson. He earned the save in a 4-2 victory yesterday after getting the first 2 men out in the bottom of the 9th. He walked Kyle Schwarber. Chris Bryant followed and reached on an error. Anthony Rizzo was hit by a pitch before Ben Zobrist bounced out to end the ball game.
And he knew that shattered. Fastball in on Schwarber. Trying to get the barrel out, but see there. Man. Don't see him shatter that way very often.
The strike is called. Watson has had 23 career saves. Of course, he became the closer officially last year after Melanson was dealt, Mark Melanson, to the Nationals. Schwarber did not agree. Did hit the edge, though. And Weekly hit off the glove, and now over to the right side, and it is Frazier who recovers and throws out Schwarber on a bang-bang play at first.
Boy, I was surprised how quickly Schwarber got down the line. Now, he is left-handed, and he was out in front, so he got a good jump out of the batter's box, but I thought that was going to be an easy play at first, but Frazier had to be quick, and he just does get Kyle Schwarber.
Sometimes the pitcher gets leather on it, and it costs him, and this time Frazier able to reverse his field and make the play. A 1-4-3 put out, 1 down, bottom of the ninth. Now Chris Bryant. Homered off of Glass now in the first. His first of the season. And drives this one deep. Marte over. And gone. It's a 1-run game. 2-homer game for Bryant. It is 8-7.
Shortest part of the ballpark, it's just 368 there in the gap. And we mentioned the wind galing out, and Bryant doesn't even hit it that well. You can see there right off the end of the bat. I mean, it looked like a changeup. And this is a pop-up just about anywhere. And Marte thinks he's going to be able to make a play on it, but ball hit about 369 feet.
It is his 8th career multi-homer game.
He knew he didn't hit that one very well, and feeling fortunate.
Now it's Rizzo.
These Cubs hitters will tell you that the wind's blowing in way more than it blows out here at Wrigley. I'm sure they'd like more of these types of days.
Tony Watson, of his 23 career saves, he's had 5 3 up, 3 down, 9th innings. Won't get one here. He's just looking now for 2 more outs. Thankful that the Pirates had a 2-run lead before that windblown home run. Sawed him off and might have slowed it down. There's Frazier again, and the stretch by Jaso to get the out.
Oh boy.
Oh man. All kinds of stuff happening.
2 weak little dribblers with some stress. What a play by Jaso too. Kind of falling to his right, keeping his foot on the bag. Tony Watson. Boy, that glove came off.
Ball 1 on Ben Zobrist. Not sure if Watson gloved that at all.
No, it didn't look like it.
Just a jam shot. And now he falls behind Zobrist 2-0.
And they have to be careful here. Zobrist has the power to tie this up. Especially today. You want to make sure, if you can, avoid him hitting the ball in the air. Keep the ball down.
Well, you know, on Ben Zobrist, on deck is Russell. Zobrist hit the 1-hopper jam shot in the 9th inning yesterday that went to Jordy Mercer for the final out. Now a 4-pitch walk to Zobrist. Russell is 1 for 4 in his career against Watson. If he should reach and the game continues, Jason Hayward on deck is 1 for 11 in his career against Watson.
You look around the outfield, you see how deep Pirates outfielders are playing. Try to prevent the double, try to prevent the ball getting past them to keep Zobrist from coming around.
Russell tripled to the right center gap in the first inning off Tyler Glass now. Doubled in a pair of runs in the 3rd inning. Flied out to center field in the 5th. Last time up, he lined out sharply to left. And now Watson in the driver's seat. It would appear 0-2.
Working away
All running off the plate. A little help. A little surprised they're not running for Zobrist, by the way.
And it's elementary, my dear Watson. Raise the Jolly Roger in Chicago. The Pirates with a tremendous come-from-behind victory. They have won the series, and Josh Harrison waves goodbye to the fans out in left field. He also waved goodbye. Those three outfielders using the long ball, Marte, Harrison, McCutchen, and Cervelli. It was the long ball that played the big role today. And Andrew McCutchen capped off the comeback with the 3-run homer in the 7th. The Bucks have already taken the series here at Wrigley.
What a big win. I tell you what, I mean, it just didn't look good from the second batter of the game for the Cubs. And the Bucks with that big 5-run 7th inning, capped by the big 3-run 2-out homer by Andrew McCutchen. And you got to like what the bullpen was able to do. Even Tyler Glasnow, after the 3rd inning, he held him for 2 scoreless in the 4th and 5th. Clean through the 8th. The cheap home run by Bryant in the 9th. But boy, heck of a job. What a big win.
Wow. Big and good in so many ways. We'll go back to the studios, Paul and Teague.